Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am broadcasting to you from Budapest, Hungary, Central Europe. Welcome everybody. Hi Maninderjeet, hi Kisi. Good to see some members. Hi Mandeep Kaur, hi Avtar, hi Elvin Ivazov. All right, today we are looking at IELTS Task 2, writing for a perfect Band 9. Our materials come from our websites, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, it's aehelp.com, and gltshelp.com for general IELTS. I'll quickly show you what those websites look like. aehelp.com looks like this with the blue background. Click that big red button to join the full course. Do yourself a favor. Pass the IELTS, use our 6 exams, interactive lessons, and over 100 hours of videos. General IELTS looks like this with the green background. Click that red button and join us there if you're doing general IELTS. All right. Back to focus here. If you have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send me an email. My name, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. You can contact me there with your inquiries. These live classes, we have them Wednesday to Saturday every week from 15 to 16 o'clock according to Central European time, okay? So, Abhinav, tomorrow is your exam. Good luck, Abhinav. Hope you do really well tomorrow. I know a lot of students are doing IELTS exams tomorrow, so everybody that's doing IELTS tomorrow, good luck to you. I'm with you in spirit. I hope you do well. All right. Let's take a look at today's question. Here we go. IELTS Task 2 writing. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Definitely spend 40 minutes on this task. Some people feel that certain jobs, such as carpenters, teachers, and nurses, are undervalued in society, and workers do not get enough pay for their effort. What are the causes of this situation and possible solutions? All right, kind of an interesting question for today. So, what do we do first? What do we need to do here, students? Let's plan this out. Let's take the necessary steps, and let's try to write a full essay today. So let's try to do the complete introduction with body paragraphs and conclusions so you get a nice idea of all of the parts. By the way, students, I did post the full Band 9 essay in the community board for last week's Task 2, so you can check that out. All right, Begzad says, well, paraphrase it. Rekha says, figure out the topic. Sevgi says, paraphrase the question. Well, by paraphrasing, Preeti agrees, that will help us to figure out the topic, the controlling ideas. So let's do that. Let's paraphrase this question. Paraphrase it with me, students. So write down your own version of this question, okay? Reading and understanding the question, Pichu, is absolutely part of this paraphrasing process. Here we go with the paraphrase. Let me move it to the next page here so you can see both of them. While I'm typing, do the same. So I'm not reading this aloud as I'm typing. I want you to focus on what you're doing. Hi, Rambo. I haven't seen you in class, I think, in a bit. So good on you for being here today. All right. Try to get in there in these classes if you have time. Okay. I'm going to continue with my paraphrase here, and I'm waiting for you to do the same. Okay. Zukridin is asking, what is the topic? You can see the question, students, in the stream description. Okay, the Task 2 question is in the stream description. Of course, right now you can see it here as well. Okay, so we're doing a Task 2. This is a causes and solutions type essay. Okay. All right, so I'm finished my paraphrase. Your paraphrasing shouldn't take you too long. It should only take you about a minute and a half. You should practice it at home, all right? And I can see that some of you have done a great job, and you are also getting your paraphrase of the question out there. So I'll read yours, and then we will get back to my example. So Self-Made says, it has been hotly debated theme that jobs such as carpenters, teachers are not being considered in our society, so they get lower salary than other occupations. All right, Self-Made, a couple of grammar mistakes there, but you're on the right track. Paula Dennis says, many people believe that some professions such as carpenter and nurses should be paid more and should be more valued. Paula, should be more valued. What are the factors that cause this and possible solutions? Good. Naveen says, professions such as carpentry, pedagogy, and nursing are underrated and receive low pay. What are the causes and solutions for this? Naveen, good. So you're looking at the profession rather than the worker themselves. Nice approach. Good critical thinking. Right. Carpentry, pedagogy, nursing. Very good. Nicely done. I like it. All right, Rekha says certain individuals believe that specific types of jobs, such as a woodworker, skippers, and nurses have not gained reputations as others have. What are the reasons for this and remedies? Rekha, you're close. I like your paraphrase of woodworkers. I'm not too sure about skippers, but fairly good paraphrase as well. All right. Begzod, certain individuals ascertain that some jobs like teachers, carpenters, and nurses do not pose high regard in society, and usually these people have low salaries. All right, Begzod, yep, absolutely, you're on the right track with it. Preeti, few individuals think that some professions like carpenters, teachers, and paramedical workers are not getting rewarding salaries according to their efforts. Yeah, Preeti, that's good. I don't think nurses are paramedical workers. I think they're medical workers. Paramedical workers would be like an ambulance driver, for example. Okay, a paramedic. But you're on the right track there. Kisi, hi. How are you? Says many individuals believe that some jobs do not get enough salaries equaling people's effort. Nice, I like it, Kisi. It's short, sweet, simple, but to the point. It works. It doesn't have to be long. Maninderjeet says certain individuals believe that some professions like carpenters, tutors, and nurses get low salaries for their work. What are the reasons and how can this be solved? Maninderjeet, good paraphrasing. This is mine here, similar to some of the members and some others that were up there in the chat. Certain individuals ascertain that some professions such as builder, instructor, and medical staff have low salaries which ill represent their contributions to the community. What has led to this situation and how can it be remedied? Okay, how can it be remedied? All right. Good. So here, what is the topic? What is the topic? So next, we identify the topic. I think Pachu said to identify the topic, and hopefully you can identify the topic after the paraphrase quite accurately. What is that topic? Begzod says, a job. Yeah, I think Begzod, you're on the right track. I'll just read yours. There's dispute among people that tutors, carpenters, nurses are underestimated and get low paying salaries. I go a little bit of correction, but you're on the right track there. So Begzod says topic is job. Maninderjeet says medical staff includes doctors, nurses. Yeah, that's right. Rekha says it's professions. Paula says the topic is the value of professions. Naveen says low paying professions. It's about professions, salary. Yeah, value of professions is a very good answer. Yeah, we're talking about the worth or the value of professions here. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So when you think about the topic, just ask this question. What are we talking about? Are we talking about nurses? Are we talking about carpenters? Kind of, but is that exactly what we're talking about? No. Are we talking about low-paying jobs? Yes. Or undervalued jobs? Yes. So we could say, okay, undervalued jobs or value of jobs. Both of that or both of those will work. Now, we have that, value of professions, so we get to the controlling idea. And once we have that, we can tackle this question effectively. So what's the controlling idea here? Okay. What controls this topic of value for professions according to this question? So how are we approaching this topic of value of professions? Okay, Rekha says the low return for efforts. Smart says the low wages. Yeah, it's part of it. Absolutely. They're not paid enough. Yes. Okay, it's the question itself. So you're all on the right track. You just need to add a little bit more to it. So the reasons why some jobs are undervalued and solutions to it. Okay, that would be the whole controlling idea. So that's what controls all of this. Okay, all right. The reasons why some jobs are undervalued and solutions to it. Good. So now we can get into our planning, and this you should do very, very quickly. Here, it's a really good idea to plan around the topic, to do your critical thinking. I'm sure many of you are going, yeah, okay, Adrian, I know what comes next. It's analytic, critical thinking about the topic. Absolutely. Okay. So we need to ask, what is the value of professions? In this context, what is the value of professions? What does that actually mean? So Tina says, yeah, let's ask some what, why, how questions here. Absolutely. It would be very dangerous to try to write this essay without doing a little bit of thinking first. I think many students would write a very awkward essay if they just tried to get right into this one. So here you'd have to be very careful. All right? So what do we mean when we say the value of a profession in this context? Okay. So one of the definitions in the chat here is, are they being appreciated? Knowing the importance of the job, satisfaction, respecting both professionally and economically. Okay, so Naveen says economically, meaning money. So how much money is the job actually earning? Sure. Okay, but what is it? Okay, Kisi, good. That's a nice answer. Contribution to society. Right. So the value of a profession as represented by the money paid for the job, as well as the job's contribution to society. Okay, sure. What's the why question here? What is the correct why question? I want you to give me the why question here. It's very important that you think of the right why question in the context of this task 2. So the value of the profession is represented by the money paid for the job as well as the job's contribution to society. That's the value of the profession. Now, what's the correct why question? So Paula says, why are some jobs more valued than others? That's a good way to approach it, Paula. I would do it a little bit differently, but sure. Begzad says, why Why is it important to value a job? That's a good question as well. Why is it not recognized by society? I think you're jumping to Preeti, to the controlling ideas instead of the topic. So here you want to stay with the topic, right? Not the controlling idea. You want to separate what, why, how for the topic and what, why, how for the controlling idea. That should be two separate processes. Okay? Okay, so why is giving different values to jobs important? That would be my question. Why is it important to actually give different values to different jobs? So why is it important to say this job is more important than that job? Okay, why? Okay, that's what I would ask here. So a couple of you had some similar answers. I think, Paula, yours is somewhere around the same concept. So why are some valued more than others? You're talking also about the difference in values of jobs. Okay, so why is different values to jobs important? Why is that important? What's the answer to that question? That's a very interesting question in society. Okay, Olajid says, well, there's differences in skills that are involved. There's different human needs, according to Abdullah. Yeah, absolutely. Based on the contribution to the welfare of society, according to Pachu. Those are all some good answers. Okay. Why is it important to give these different values? Okay. Harminder says, well, there's different skills. Rekha says, according to the demand of the work. Sure. Okay. Different skills, different levels of risk, amount of education. Okay, those are all, and provision for humans. Yeah, those are all some good answers, and I saw one or another student come up with these, which is great. Hopefully, you can think of as many as possible, right? So some jobs, yep, they demand a high skill level, lots of training, right? Amount of education, or not as much training, different levels of risk. So we need to be able to show an appreciation for these differences. Right? So if somebody has to go to school for 10 years to do a job versus someone has to go to school for a year to do a certain job, then clearly we want to show that we respect that somebody spent 10 years versus 1 year to get training for that job. So it makes sense. Okay. How would be an example, right? So how, for example, a cashier has 2 weeks of training versus a nurse who has 4 years of training. Right? So that would be a how example. Okay, good. So we're on the right track here. We want to keep moving nice and smooth. Okay, I definitely want to get into our writing today and really move along here. So now we need to ask a couple more questions related to the controlling idea. So the controlling idea here, students, is the reason why some jobs are undervalued and solutions. For causes and solutions, they're plural, causes and solutions. Baljit, don't worry, the question is in the stream description. You can check it out there, okay? I'll flash the question one more time here for students joining in. So the original question is, some people feel that certain jobs, such as carpenters, teachers, and nurses, are undervalued in society, and workers do not get enough pay for their effort. What are causes of this situation and possible solutions, okay? So let's go back here to the controlling idea questions. There are a couple of really important questions. It's plural, causes, and solutions. You should try to give 2 causes, 2 solutions. So if I ask 10 people, what would be the number 1, number 2 answer for the causes, and what would be the solutions? Okay? All right. So Preeti says for nurses in India, it's 3 years. That's fine, Preeti. We can get into the logistics, 3 years or 4 years, but it's not the point here. All right, so the correct question, think about the correct question. The correct question that you should come up with here is, what are 2 reasons that these jobs are undervalued? Okay, let's see some reasons. I don't think I've seen, yeah, there you go. Rekha says the reasons, right? Why are these jobs devalued, Begzod says, or undervalued in society? Sure, and what are they? What are 2 reasons? Visualize here. Visualizing will help you. Okay, I'm looking right now through the chat to see if anybody has come up with some good reasons. All right, let's see. So Samita, I think you're saying overproduction, so there's too much supply, there are too many. I don't know if that's true. There always seems to be a lack of nurses and a lack of carpenters these days. Begzod says globalization. Okay, Begzod, that's a possible answer. I think I know what you're saying with that. Go into more details. Okay, absolutely. So Abdul Hamid says low demand for these professions. I don't know about that, Abdul Hamid. There seems to be quite a high demand for nurses, teachers, and carpenters. So I'm not sure if the lack of demand is true. So Timur says, at first glance, they're perceived as not adding much value to society in general. So do teachers, nurses, carpenters not add a lot of value to society? I wonder. Keep thinking. The better your answers to this question, the better your essay will be. All right. Murad says development and technological advances. Competition, not having enough knowledge of the subjects. These jobs are too normal, says Nok An Nguyen. Okay. Maybe. They have a low pay scale, Suman says. All right. People neglecting their health, Mangal says. They don't want nurses. All right. I can see there's a lot of opinion around this because we have a lot of answers coming up. Okay. I would say that one reason is conservative traditions. Does anybody know what I mean by that? So conservative traditions, it's kind of a fancy way to basically say that these jobs are still perceived with an old type of thinking or an old way of thinking. So conservative traditions, outdated ideas around these jobs. Okay. What I mean by that is carpenters, nurses, teachers, they had less education and less demand on them 100 years ago. Okay, but as technology is advancing and as the needs of humans are advancing, these jobs require a lot more training and a lot more effort to actually achieve. So back in the day, a long time ago, when you had nurses, and this is where you can visualize, you had nurses working in hospitals, sometimes all they needed was 1 year of training or even 6 months of training. But these days, that's impossible. These jobs require a lot more. However, the actual pay rate never changed traditionally. Okay, so that was one of the reasons that I would identify, is that we're conservative. Okay, conservative meaning we're stuck in the past. Okay, we're stuck in the past with these jobs. Okay, we haven't actually reevaluated these jobs. What's another reason, do you think? So why, if the schools are not paying the teachers more money, if the hospitals are not paying nurses more money, why is that? I think one of arguably the main reasons is okay, it's not enough money. The budget's low, right? Nurses go on strikes. Teachers go on strikes all the time. They're like, give us more money. We deserve more. And schools and hospitals say, sorry, no, we want to give you more, but we don't have any more money. So that's your problem, right? Simranjit Singh has that answer. Good for you. You said low financial resources. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I would identify as the two main reasons. It's not the only two. I think Bagzad, you had a good point with globalization. So there's supply coming from different countries. If there are not enough nurses in Canada, instead of training and paying for more nurses within Canada, Canada will outsource this demand and allow nurses to emigrate into the country from other countries such as India, Korea, wherever, and they will fill that need, right? So globalization is possible. Bagzad is another answer. But I think conservative traditions is one of the big reasons that these jobs are not being paid enough. And the other one is a low budget, so not enough budget. Okay? That would be it. Those would be easy to write about. So let's do that. Before that, let's think about solutions. Okay? What are solutions to these two problems? So how do we change, or how do we solve this problem of people thinking about some jobs like carpenter, car mechanic, teachers, nurses, in these traditional ways where they think, hey, they don't need as much training as other people? Or how do we change that? So how do we bring these jobs into a different perspective? Okay. Timur says, enhance the capacity of these people. Suman says, bring awareness in society to the job. Okay. Yep, sure. So emphasize their importance in society and what it demands to fill these jobs. Yeah. Okay. So and how can we do that? Through education programs, advertising, social advertising. Yeah. Did you know a nurse in the 1940s required 1 year of school, but today can require up to 5 years of post-secondary education? Sure, absolutely. So educate society of the importance and the value of these jobs. How can we change the lack of money? So not enough money, how can we change that? Okay. Vivek says allocate more government funds to these positions. Sure. Sure, okay, so let's get our thesis statement. Now that we have all of this, let's write down our thesis. Okay, so we have the reasons, we have the solutions. Now we can write our thesis. So go ahead, students, write a good thesis statement using this information. Okay, it can be 2 sentences or it can be 1 complex sentence. Up to you. It has to be good. A good thesis will make a great essay. A bad thesis will break your essay. So write a good thesis statement with this knowledge. Okay, I'm going to do the same, but I will stay a little bit quiet to give you a chance to think about your thesis statement. All right? All right, let's see what you have up there. So let's see some of these. Selfmade says this essay will elaborate on the causes and solutions of the following issue related to salary and old ways of jobs. Selfmade, I don't want you to write about what the essay will elaborate on. I just want you to write a direct thesis for me. Tell me directly so I can clearly figure out your body paragraph 1 and your body paragraph 2. Okay? All right. My thesis, while I'm waiting for some more, are the reasons for undervaluing jobs in society are a result of conservative thinking and budget allocation. And the solutions demand public awareness as well as government funding. Okay, that's my thesis statement. Notice it's very direct. I'm not saying what the essay will discuss. I'm simply discussing it right away in the thesis. I'm giving the 2 causes. Conservative thinking, budget allocation, 1, 2, okay? And then the solutions, public awareness, connected to 1, and government funding, connected to 2. Body paragraph 1 will be about these 2 points in the thesis. Body paragraph 2 will be about those 2 points in the thesis. Okay, let's see what else some other students have written. Okay. Bagzod says, although both conservative traditions and lack of budget are 2 chief reasons for undervaluing jobs, there are solutions. Giving more money and showing respect. Something like that, Bagzod. So a couple of corrections to your word choice. Pay attention, Bagzod, to having parallel grammar form, okay, in your thesis statement. Abhishek says, perceptions of society should change towards undervalued jobs as they assist many individuals in society. Abhishek, it sounds like you started with a thesis statement, but you ended with a body paragraph explanation. So I would rethink your thesis in this case. Okay, remember, causes and solutions essays, students, your thesis should have 2 causes, 2 solutions. For the first cause, have a solution. For the second cause, have a solution. Your first will be body paragraph 1. The second will be body paragraph 2. Okay? So think about it that way. I'll check out a couple more thesis statements here. Remember, a good thesis will make a great essay, and you can write quickly when you have a good thesis. All right? Simranjit says 2 main reasons are financial resources and conservative thinking. The solution is public awareness and allocating government funds. Simranjit's good. It's very close to mine. Different grammar, but similar approach. It's good. Rekha says, it is a debatable issue that some professions have low salaries. Possible reasons are conservative thinking and budget allocation. The remedies are awareness among the masses and government financial aid. Rekha, that's good. Don't use questions in your introduction or in your essay, okay? That's for all students. Avoid questions. Don't use questions, all right? Instead, give statements and answers. All right, some more thesis statements. I love thesis statements because that's where your essay is made. Students, by the way, most teachers in university, college, IELTS examiners, when they read a thesis statement, they can almost tell your IELTS band score just from your thesis statement. So just by reading your thesis statement. That's why it's so important to have a good thesis statement. Harminder says there are two vital reasons for undervaluing jobs, comma, low budget, and conservative thinking. Some solutions for these reasons include, and then I'm sure that's coming, that part, Harminder. Jazz Joy says conservative traditions about these jobs as well as lack of adequate budget are some possible reasons they are underpaid. The solutions involve more respect and funding. Jazz Joy, some good ideas. Notice my corrections there in real time. You can come back to that at 37 minutes, 34 seconds in the video and check it again later once it's up on our channel. All right, one more. Maninderjeet, although two main reasons for undervaluing jobs are conservative traditions and lack of budget, solutions include public awareness and incentives from the government. Maninderjeet, it's good. Just as students, be really careful about parallel grammar, okay? So conservative traditions, low budget, okay? Adjective, noun, adjective, noun. Conservative traditions and lack of budget is not parallel grammar because you have the word of, which is a preposition. One is 2 words, the other is 3 words. You know right away that that's not parallel grammar in the thesis. So careful about that, okay? All right, students, now we can write the introduction. For the introduction, let's start off with a hook. Think about your hook. Give that to me as soon as you have it. I want to get going with some good writing here. So let's move along. Let's get this essay done. Let's get that band 9. I'm just going to erase my underlined thesis points here so you have a clear view of the screen. So here we go. Hook, introduction. Catch that reader. Get focused. Introductory paragraph. Here we go. Starts with a hook. Hooks are important, contrary to some who believe they are not. Okay. Here we go. That's mine. Let's see what yours is. Yep, Tina, you've got the structure down packed, starting with a hook, then following it up with the background. This is my hook here. Every person deserves to be paid fairly for their work effort. Hey, it's a clear statement. I think many of us hold that close to our heart, especially if we feel that our jobs are underappreciated and underpaid. Okay. Then we need to give definitions and background. Okay. We need to give some information about why this is an important question. Okay. Vikram for the hook says, in the world, every worker has a specific salary. This salary is different from job to job. Vikram, that's good for the background, not for the hook. I think what you're doing there is you're giving a definition of the differences in pay. okay? Rekha says the returns in terms of money are vital for every worker and employee. All right, Rekha, it's good. Just be careful with grammar and word use, okay? Choosing words correctly. Don't overcomplicate it. Jobs are a source of fundamental needs. Preeti, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Try to rethink it. Aigul, if that's your hook, it's looking a little bit long. Let me take a look at that. So old thinking and money division are the main causes for job. Okay, Aigul, I think that's, it's okay, Aigul. Don't retract it. That was your thesis, which is fine, okay? I would have read it anyway. So don't quickly erase your comments once you've worked so hard to get them up there. I would have given you a comment on your thesis. Begzad says there are hundreds of professions which have important roles among humans. Yeah, Begzad, just a little correction there, okay? There are hundreds of professions which have important roles among humans. It's a good hook. I'd save that maybe a little bit more for the background, but sure. Okay, so definitions. I'll take what a student actually said before here. So, I just used the word every, so let's remove that. So, different jobs in society earn different or unique amounts for, I'm getting a little bit confused here. So I'm trying to express that for different jobs, we get different amounts of money while making it sound professional. This is, by the way, the background for those of you that are not sure. The introductory paragraph has 3 parts: hook, background, and thesis. The background is the definitions based on the topic and the controlling idea, as well as the importance of the question. Okay, so I'm thinking of the definitions right now, basically defining the concept of getting different amounts of money for different jobs, and I'm trying to avoid using the word different too many times, okay? Let's see if somebody can help me out with this in the chat. All right. Here we go. So, all right, so notice what I did to help me with my definition. I was having difficulty wrapping my brain around it in a qualitative way. So immediately I started thinking quantitative. Some jobs, you get a couple dollars an hour, while other jobs you get hundreds, even thousands of dollars an hour. And I used that to give a definition. And that's a good trick, students. If you get lost in your thoughts and you're thinking too qualitatively, like good, bad, big, much, different, start thinking quantitatively in numbers, okay? How much? $1, $2, $10 in your own perspective. So here we go. So far I have every person deserves to be paid fairly for their work effort. Certain jobs get little money in society, just a couple dollars an hour, while others may earn astronomical amounts in the hundreds and even thousands of dollars per hour. Okay, why is this question important? That's my next step here. Why is it important? So why do we need to talk about this? Think about that. Okay, think about that. So why do we talk about this? Vikram, background statement. In the world, every worker has a different salary. The amount of this salary is very different between a variety of jobs. Yeah, so Vikram, it's not bad, but you're falling into that kind of trap that I was trying to avoid where I'm using the word different, different, different so many times, okay? So try to avoid that. Yeah, Tahur, dissimilar, unlike, it's okay. But again, a little bit awkward, I think. So it's better just to go into a quantitative amount here. Okay. All right. Preeti says the question is important because society gives respect and value according to the salary. So the salary is a representation of the value for that job. Okay. So I would say that the wages earned for a certain profession are critical for the intellectual structure of society. And I can make it a little bit simpler, just say function. Okay. So basically what we're saying here is think about it this way. And this is, again, visualize. So use your brain, think. Don't just think English, but just think, okay? So here, if I say, okay, from tomorrow, nurses get $500 an hour US, what's going to happen? Everybody is going to rush to school and say, I want to apply to be a nurse. I'm going to be a nurse, okay? So what will happen is suddenly there will be lots and lots of nurses in society because everybody wants that $500 per hour. It's a strong motivation, right? So how much we pay for a certain job has a huge impact on how society is structured, what kinds of professions have a lot of people. I mean, think about a good example of software developers. Because software programmers and software developers earn a fairly good hourly wage compared to many other professions, $60, $80, $100 an hour, no problem in US or Canada. The world is full of computer engineers, software programmers, and developers. There's a lot of them, right? So that's why it's important to have a clear structure or idea of the value of jobs in society because it actually helps to form or shape society, right? So that's the importance of it. The wages earned for certain profession are critical for the function and structure of society. Okay, now all I need to do is take my thesis and just put it in there. Here we go, just copy paste, a little bit of computer magic. Of course, in the IELTS, you can just leave a space above your planning for the rest of your introduction once you have your thesis statement. Let's see what some students have. Okay, Murad says, no matter what job a person has, it should be equally valued. I don't know, I think you might have some disagreements on that concept. Eunice says, I would say programmers earn $100 per hour because there aren't many of them. I would disagree, Eunice. I think there are lots of them, but there's also a high demand for them as we live in the age of information. And the result of their jobs makes a lot of money, right? Okay. All right. Let's stay on track here. Remember, don't go off track. Don't get too emotional. Stay focused. Your goal here is a high IELTS Band 9 response, right? So here we go. This is the introduction. Every person deserves to be paid fairly for their work effort. Certain jobs get little money in society, just a couple of dollars an hour, while others may earn astronomical amounts in the hundreds and even thousands of dollars per hour. The wages earned for a certain profession are critical for the function and structure of society. The reason for undervaluing jobs in society are a result of conservative thinking and budget allocation. The solutions demand public awareness as well as government funding. Fantastic. So now we know what we're talking about. Now I'm sure the student understands the question and I have a good idea of where they are going with their argument. So certainly they will get a good mark for this. Let's go into body paragraph 1. Okay. And I started this session by saying I'd like to write the full essay, but I'm sure running low on time. I have about 10 minutes left. So here we go. I'm going to write. I'm going to challenge you to write, and then let's see how you do versus how I do. So let's compare the information. Here we go with the topic sentence. So many jobs these days are still thought of the same as half a century ago, needing little education and demanding less effort. A generation ago, becoming a teacher or nurse needed about 12 years of education. But today, these jobs need university degrees and at least 5 more years of intensive learning. Therefore, society or the public must be shown that the nurses or medical professionals, medical and pedagogy professionals of today are much more skilled than those of the past. Okay, and then let's keep going. Let's see what you have up there. So don't be shy just because I'm typing away here like a madman, trying to get at least one body paragraph out for you. I want you to be confident and just go with me. Write your topic sentence, write your explanation, write your example. I'll take pauses here and there and take a look at the chat and see if we're still on the same page, okay? So keep going. Don't get lost. Here we go. So what I'm doing so far is I've put up a topic sentence. I'm moving on to the explanation. And now I'm going into examples as well. I'm paying attention to my first 2 points in the thesis. One of them being the cause of the problem, which is traditional thinking or conservative thinking about these jobs. And the other is, so this is the conservative thinking. And then the other is the solution, which is public awareness. Okay, so that's what I'm focusing on. So bear with me. Also, students, I'm trying to show you here that when you have a clear idea of what you want to write about, then you can write a lot faster. Okay, now obviously I have an advantage because I have all of the grammar and vocabulary already in my brain, and that's a bit challenging when it's not your native language. But knowing what to write will definitely help you, regardless of how much vocabulary or grammar you have. All right. Farheen says many people get low earning jobs based on their education and practical experience. But people like doctors and professors hold knowledge and experience. They get a handful of money based on their hardships. Yeah, Farheen, I wouldn't really jump to compare high paying professions necessarily in this situation. Okay. Begzod says many professions in today's world have the same opinion among individuals. A couple centuries ago, such as nurses and builders, usually spent no more time to get their ability. They just got their training from field work, which is true, Begzod, in a big way. Okay, Kisi, nice. Society has always been a stereotype for some professions, such as nurses and carpenters. These jobs' salaries are much lower than the effort people put in. Very good, Kisi, absolutely. The word stereotype, Kisi, is excellent. I'm going to steal that word from you and use it in my paragraph here. So, all right. Like I said, I'll borrow that word from you, Kisi. So it is the responsibility of governments to break the old stereotypes around these professions, such as carpenters having a low level of education. This can be done through advertising and media. Okay? And then I can conclude this. So this is one of two reasons for undervaluing jobs. And then right into my second body paragraph. Here we go. So body 2. Again, same idea here. You're just going with the topic sentence. Now I'm going to explain the causes and solutions of thesis point number 2. So budget allocation, of course, is the problem. So budget allocation, and the solutions are government funding. Right. Okay. So all right, so there's my topic sentence. Another major dilemma in paying more for many professions is simply the lack of money in the industry. Okay, and then going into the explanation and the example. Mangal Lubana says, it would be too lengthy. I don't think so. Let me do a quick word count for you, Mangal, and see how we're doing so far. Remember that task 2 is 250 words minimum. Okay, so far I have about 200 words, okay, minus my instructions, so roughly 200 words, and I'm into my second body paragraph, so I probably have about 100 more words left to go here with my conclusion. I'll end up with 310 words maybe at the end, Mangal. That's absolutely okay because it's 250 words minimum for this. All right. So another major dilemma in paying more for many professions is simply the lack of money in the industry. Even though nurses and teachers frequently advocate for pay raises, they are denied due to poor funding or inavailability of funds. All right. So there's my explanation coming in. Okay. Yep. Dilemma, Jonah, is a problem. It's a predicament, Alien Eater. That's right. Okay. So as speedy as I tried to be, that is all the time I have for today. I got it to body paragraph to explanation in the last 10 minutes there. So if I can do 150 words while teaching, reading, talking in 10 minutes, you can too. You can do the 250 words in the 40 minutes for sure, students, okay? 40 minutes, as long as you know what you're writing, is enough time to finish the essay. That is all the time I have, unfortunately, today, ladies and gents, for this lesson. But hey, you can finish this on your own time and then send it to me at adrian@aehelp.com, and I will let you know how you did on that finish, okay? So again, email the rest of the essay to adrian@aehelp.com. I'll let you know if you did a good job, what kind of a band score you would get. Make sure to visit us, aehelp.com for academic IELTS, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Those websites look like this. This is generalieltshelp.com with the green background. Hit that red button. And the academic IELTS looks like this with the blue background. Hit that big red button. Join us there. Thank you for the great participation today, students. Some really good interaction. I know it's a hot topic to talk about wages and value of jobs. It's a tricky one for society. It's a bit of a tricky question as well, so it's good to practice these difficult task twos. Have an awesome rest of your day. Good luck on your exam, Dinesh. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.